We are doing some sprint work, out of camp sprint work, just trying to stay in shape. Trying to get my weight down lower. I'm about 84 at the minute, so just trying to sort of see what I get to where I feel fit at. Maybe, again, new weight class, so it's about seeing. I used to always be sitting a bit too heavy for 66. I was always sitting around 79, 80, so try to get to, if I can get around to that for 70, that'll be a good cut. That'll be decent. I won't be sacrificing too much, I don't think, trying to get down to the weight, but it's all trial and error, so. I normally just do anything really warm up, as long as I'm moving. Sometimes I'm a bit more sore than others. My arms are a bit stiff today, that's why I'm gonna use the ski erg, make sure I give my shoulders a good warm up before I jump onto my air bike sprints. And again, nothing too hectic because it's out of camp. You don't want to be burning out. You don't want to be trying to go too crazy. You need a jump when it comes to, when it comes to your actual camp. You need a jump up, as in sparring gets a bit harder. Your sprints get a bit more intense. Rest gets a bit shorter, all the good stuff. So, yeah, got to work with what you got in you.
I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'ma always win. We already know that we the coldest. Watch me heat it up, let me fuck.
That was just my warm up, so just 3 minutes at a decent-ish pace. Again, just loosen my shoulders off a bit. Again, today it's not fully structured. In camp it will be structured. I know exactly what I'm doing when I come in. When I'm out of camp, I just play it by how I feel on the day. Some days I've got good energy, some days I've got bad energy, so always looking to push it. But I might come and do air bike sprints with bag work. I might come in I might say I'm not gonna do air bike sprints today. I'm gonna do ski and roll sprints, or I might do treadmill sprints. I just play it. Normally in camp I go, Tuesday I go air bike sprints. Thursday I go sort of like a mix between them, air bike sprints, ski erg, rower, treadmill, and then Sunday I normally get out to the hills and then hit your actual outdoor hill sprints. Sunday just gone, it was hammering it down with rain, so normally we'd still do it, but one of the fighters are in a camp, so we can't risk him getting wet, getting cold, getting ill so close to his fight. So we came into the gym, we did incline hill sprints on the treadmill, then we did like 3 or 4 rounds each. There was 3 of us at a good pace. Then we went into our parachute sprints, so where we strapped the belt on the machine, so flat out hard as you can, went into those sprints. And then we finished with the treadmill turns into a sled, so you can change the belt on the machine. We put that as our sled push, and we hit some sled pushes, but we know we were doing the right thing because he was green at the end, nearly being sick, and he's a few weeks out from a fight. So if you're pushing somebody that's in a fight camp to the point they're being sick, you're doing the right thing. So yeah, all good. So I'm thinking today anyway, I've done my little warm up with my ski erg. I'm gonna get a couple of ski erg sprints done. So how I'm gonna do it on the ski erg is gonna be today. I'm not gonna push it too much. So I'm gonna set the ski erg to 200 meters. I'm not gonna go for time. It started on 500. I'm gonna drop that to 200. 200 meters. Oh. So I'm gonna drop this to 200 meters. I'm gonna do a 200 meter flat out as I can sprint, and then I'm gonna have a rest. And I'm not gonna time my rest today, like I said. Not in a camp, so I don't wanna be timing everything. I'm gonna set that to 200 meters. I'm gonna go flat out and I'll rest until I'm ready to go again on the sprints. No like minute or 30 seconds. It's just go, stop till you're ready to go again. And then that way I'm not gonna burn out. That way I'm not gonna put myself off, or when I go into a camp it'd be too much. So. So again, that's intense, but it's not too intense where I can't recover in between. So that was 38 seconds. Probably could have done it quicker, but my hand got tied up. In that thing, that's not happened before. And I was just trying to imagine, like, you're gonna feel like this in a fight. You don't feel it so much when you're in there, because you've got so much other things to focus on. You're moving, you're twitching, giving out feints. They're reading you, giving out feints, so you don't think too much. But that was my problem with my UFC debut, was because it was on short notice, I didn't have a lot of time to fully study him. I had to really read into the feints, you know. A lot of people do certain tells, and if I would have studied him, I would have known. I'd have been able to relax in a moment, but I had to be super switched on because the guy's so high level. I just think that was one of my downsides. I wasn't fit enough to be able to keep the pace I wanted to keep in there, but I got my entry into the UFC. I got my first one in. Now the next ones will be on full camp, and yeah, it's going to be a game changer. A full camp, a UFC fight. I'm thinking I'm going to shock a lot of people what I'm going to do to the next guy. I'm just can't wait. Can't wait. Do you know what? Because I've done my whole career at 66, I've never really studied the 70s too much. I mean, I know all the top ones. I know all the top 15s, but as for the new signings they've got at 70, I don't really know them. So, look, I'm just going to be ready for anybody. Of course, I want to fight all the top guys, but I know they're not going to... I know I don't... Like, I'm not validated enough to fight those top guys yet, but that's the goal, is to get to that top. I'm good to fight anybody now, as long as I'm just working and building, and I'm always getting better all the time. I'm not one of these guys that are only in... Sometimes you get these talented guys that are only in when it's time to go. They've got to fight, okay, they're gonna do 6 weeks they're in. I'm in the gym all the time. Even this, I'm just ticking over. I'm not pushing too intense. Some people might watch this and be like, oh, it's fucking easy sprint session. Yeah, it probably is an easy sprint session, but I'm just ticking over. Just making sure that I'm fit enough to train to not get injured. If you're not fit in your training, you're getting injured all the time. That's probably one of the biggest things. So if you're a fighter out there and you think, every time I'm getting into camps, I keep getting injured, it's probably because you're not fit enough to keep the intensity you're trying to do in training. So maybe that be a warning to you. Maybe stay a bit more in shape. And then when you got to do it, it's not fat camp then. When you got a fight camp, you focus on getting sharper and improving, not a fat camp. You don't have to focus on losing all the weight. No comment. I like Paddy, so no comment. So I'm just gonna do one more of these. I don't even know what the recovery was on it, maybe 2 minutes, something like that. And even these, as I go through out of camp and maybe a camp's dawning closer and closer, I'll just feel these. Technically, I'll be getting fitter with these, you know. I'll feel my rests shorten down a lot, and yeah, I'll have like my heart rate monitor on, and I'll be able to monitor all how fast it's falling. So yeah.
Do you talk on your rest periods?
Yeah, in camps I do. Yeah, how much it drops by, what it goes. It's not so much what it goes up to, it's more so how much it's coming down. Because if you go up to 160 and you only come down to 156, it's not a big jump. If you went up to 180 and you come down to 130, that's a big jump. It's more about how much you're getting it down, not how high it's going. Because I suppose...
If it's too easy, the rest of you'll decrease it and stuff like that.
Yeah. If I'm doing like if I'm doing it and it's too easy, I'll say I was doing a 30 calorie or I was doing a 20 calorie sprint on the air bike, and it's too easy, I'll up it to 25 or up it to 30. I'll do it that way. So it's just sort of about tweaking it all the time. I had a strength and conditioning coach for years. He's very busy now, and I'm obviously really busy with all the training. But a lot of the things I'm doing is going off what he showed me. And I still get in with him when I can, and we do like testings and stuff like that. So just always trying to stay on top of it all. Old Faithful. And even again in this, I can mix it up. I can get some ball slams in between. And so, we broke our other air bike, doing sprints on it. We snapped the belt inside it. Had to send it back. They sent me out a new one. First session, snapped the chain. So that's out here now, out of order. So they sent us a new one. I had the Pro before. They didn't have that in stock, so they sent me the classic train driven. And then the very first sprint that happened on it, snapped it. So that's out of order. So the only problem with this treadmill air bike is it ain't got batteries in it to power the motor on the front bit, so I have to go off times on this one. So I'll go off my times on there and just see how I'm feeling. I'm gonna play it safe to start. I'm just gonna go with 30-second sprints. That's probably only about 15 calories sprint on one of these, so it's not intense at all. I'll just set it for 1 round at a time. 30 seconds work, no rest. So, 30 seconds work, no rest. Just 1 round at a time. Again, I'm not recording the rest on it, so I don't need to put a rest on that. And then I'm just gonna go 10 seconds on this. Yep. I don't know. 3, 4, 5, something like that. That was 2. I don't know how many calories I'm on, or I need my heart rate monitor as well to judge it, but as long as we're getting some working. I just always try to tick over these as well, because I hate the feeling when you're sparring, fighting, yeah, but definitely, I never let myself get to the point with that in fighting, but I've let myself get out of shape before, or like when I broke my hand and stuff. When you come back to sparring, you're literally clock watching in the spar, you're so tired. You just like praying that the round's gonna end soon. And I never wanna let myself be like that ever again. I think even if I decided tomorrow to retire, I'd always keep some baseline fitness level. I think when you get fit, you can never imagine living without it. Even, I just think it's a part of me now, just training. Not even just MMA, it's just in training in general. I couldn't imagine not doing it now. Whether that be weights, a bit of cardio, or if I'm finished with fighting, you know, just rolling and a bit of gi. I couldn't imagine doing nothing now. I couldn't imagine just going, because I've been also so all in with it. I couldn't imagine doing nothing. For the last 10, nearly 11 years, I pretty much dedicated my life to it, so I just couldn't imagine. You see some people, they just retire and you see them dead fat and they haven't done anything. I couldn't. Even if I had an injury or something, you know, I couldn't compete, I couldn't train anymore. I'd still be in the gym every day watching, trying to help, trying to coach. I couldn't just go and do nothing. Not that I'd be much help if I was in that state, but I'd still try to do something. What's that, sorry?
I was going to say, you can always do coaching.
That's it. Even if I was a vegetable and I couldn't move, I could still have an eye for it. When I'd still be able to say, do this, keep your hand up, do that. So, yeah, try to always have an input in. I mean, this is in years and years' time, but I want to be building fighters that go on to do the UFC, you know. That'll be my future goals when I'm done with fighting myself. My goal will be to get guys to that level, to get guys to surpass that level, do you know what I mean? I mean, there's no telling how far I'm gonna go in the sport yet, is there? So I know I'm only one fight into the UFC, I'm 60 fights deep now, but only one fight into the UFC, so the journey is only just beginning, really. Yep. Yep. Exactly. And look, I took my UFC debut on 8 days' notice against somebody that are really ranked to be high, and I think I respect him a bit too much when I was in there. I think maybe. Yeah. Well, now I know I'm in the look. I really rated that guy. I thought really high. Like, I was telling fighters, look, if you want to study someone good at striking, study this guy, man. I was showing them Kutaladze. So I really rated him high, and now I've been in there, hung with him, and you know, dropped him and nearly finished him. It's going forward, not in a negative way. It's giving me less respect for the competition because I think, nah, I'm up there with you all. I'm fucking there. Whereas before, I thought, oh. I mean, going into the fight, I literally was saying to people, oh yeah, Guram's going to be better than me on the feet, but yeah, it's MMA, man. I can mix up, I can get him down. Look what happened when I was in there on the feet with him. So if I'm doing that when I'm not believing I can do that, imagine when I'm believing what I can do to people on the feet. It's going to be a different story. And I'm seeing a lot of people on the internet saying, yeah, how are we thinking when Jordan makes his real UFC debut at 145? I ain't going to 145, look. I've been at 145 my whole career. I was cutting 10 kilos in water. The last 2 fights, I tried to get my weight down as low as I could. I was cutting 8 kilos both times to make featherweight. That's in one day. That's an 8 kilo water drop. I can't sustain that for a long period of time. And in the UFC, I want my performances to be my best performances. I don't want to be going in there 50% because I've cut too much weight. Look, I'm 5'11". I'm walking around at like 84 kilos. You're telling me I need to be 66, not 70. Do you know what I mean? I train with 70 kilo guys all the time and I'm bigger than them and they can't believe that I was fighting at 66. So now I've put on a little bit of weight, like I've been lifting a bit heavier, and because obviously I can afford to now, I'm at 70. Not put too much on, but just put a little bit on. I'm having people saying to me, I have no idea how you ever made 66 kilos. So We'll see. Wait till I'm at 70. Look, I wasn't dropping people at 66 because I think I was sacrificing too much of a weight cut. Straight away, I'm jumping in. I keep having a running joke with people. I'm saying to people, hey, look, I've dropped 100% of people in my 100% of my UFC fights, and then the other running joke is, yeah, but you've lost 100% of your UFC fights. So I'll try to keep the first thing going and try to break the other thing. Try to drop the next guy and have a win on the record. And again, yeah, just a bit of bag work, not even time it. I'm just gonna work a bit on the bag. Yeah, a day doing what I'm doing with fucking 3 kids and trying to train twice, and yeah, we'll get a day in camp when we're on free and all the driving as well. Because that's the thing as well, there's nothing close to me. This is close to me, obviously, because it's where I'm from, but my other gyms that I go to, they're an hour away from me, so it's like, I train here, I go home, I try to spend time with the kids, try to get my fuel, then I'm driving 50 minutes to an hour to do a boxing session for an hour, driving 50 minutes back, then I've got about an hour and a half to sort of eat food, try to see the boys, try to see my missus, and I'm off again to the MMA gym. I'm off an hour drive to the MMA gym, and then I'm there for like 3 hours working loads of techniques, driving back, I'm getting home at like 11 at night, and that's like every day in a camp. That's the bit that a lot of people go to me, oh, I would like to do what you do. I think they actually think I just wake up one morning and decide I'm gonna have a fight, when it's not like that at all. It's all the training, the dieting. People don't realize that.
Anyone like come up to you and be like, oh, you're fucking up, man.
Nah, not so much like that, because I don't think I portray myself like that, do you know what I mean? If I was like a McGregor, like, he's got that persona, innit? Maybe you'd get that, but I don't really get that. I just get a lot of people go, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, so I get more positive people coming on it. Oh, that'll do me. What's that, sorry?
End of the session.
End of the session, mate. Not again. Not too much. And it's Thursday's my day with the kids, so.
This as well.
Yes, so on a Thursday she's doing her thing. I've got the boys. The oldest is at school, but I've got the two youngest. I've got the 2-year-old and the 1-year-old, so try to keep them busy. Don't want to get too tired, so I've not got energy for them to. Yeah.